Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a groundbreaking study, one that just came out last week, that found a potential new cancer therapy in, well, a very, very unexpected place.
I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But, researchers at Japan's Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, or JAIST, they asked a really similar question, and it led them to a discovery that is, frankly, remarkable.
Okay, so let's get into how they even got here. We really need to understand the new angle these scientists took because this is not your typical microbiome research.
Right, so instead of just kind of gently tweaking the body's whole ecosystem of bacteria, this strategy is way more direct. You can think of it like training a single microscopic assassin and then sending it on a very, very specific mission.
So, the huge question is, where do you even begin to look for a bacterium like that? Well, as it turns out, the answer was right there, in the local wildlife. The team that cast a really wide net. They isolated 45 different bacterial strains from the intestines of local amphibians and reptiles, and after screening all of them, they found that 9 showed some anti-tumor effects, but one just stood out from the pack, a strain called Ewingella americana, and they found it inside a Japanese tree frog. Okay, so now let's see how this little bacterial hero actually did when they put it to the test. The enemy? A really formidable one, colorectal cancer in a mouse model. And the results? Well, they were just astonishing.
Get this, with just a single intravenous dose of the bacteria, the researchers saw a 100% complete response rate. And let me be perfectly clear about what that means. It means every single tumor was completely eliminated.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting when you see the direct comparison. Just take a look at this chart. The control group's tumor, on the left, it grew a lot. The standard chemotherapy drug, in the middle, barely slowed it down. But the E. americana treatment on the right, wow, it didn't just stop the tumor, it completely wiped it out, dropping the volume all the way to 0.
And this just hammers home how significant this is. In their own words, the JAIS team said this performance dramatically surpasses not just standard chemo, but even modern immunotherapy drugs. That's a huge statement.
I mean, a result like that, 100% eradication, is almost unheard of in cancer research. So it immediately makes you ask, how on earth is it working so well? Well, it turns out this bacterium is an incredibly elegant and efficient cancer fighter.
It uses this fantastic two-pronged attack. First, it launches a direct assault. It gets into the tumor and starts killing cancer cells all on its own. But then it does something else. It acts like a rally commander, sending out signals that call in the body's own immune system to launch a second, really powerful attack. Now, the key to that direct attack is what's called the tumor's hypoxic environment. So basically, tumors are famously low in oxygen. And while that low oxygen state actually helps them grow, it also happens to create the perfect breeding ground for this specific kind of bacteria.
Okay, but hold on a minute. This raises a really critical safety question, right? What stops this bacterium from just attacking the rest of the body? A rogue bacterial infection is a super serious concern.
Amazingly, the answer is in the tumor itself. It's this unique combination of factors, things like leaky blood vessels that let the bacteria in, that low oxygen niche where they can grow, and even cancer's own don't eat me signals that kind of create a safe zone. All this makes the tumor the only place in the body where this bacteria can really survive and thrive.
And this slide just shows how incredibly specific it is. Within 24 hours, the bacterial count inside the tumor multiplies by about 3,000 times. Meanwhile, in healthy organs, it's gone. Rapidly cleared from the blood with zero colonization, it's a truly laser-focused weapon.
And the results of that incredible specificity? Well, the treatment has an excellent safety profile in these early studies. It showed no long-term toxicity and only caused a mild temporary inflammation that went away pretty quickly.
So, what does this all mean for the future of fighting cancer? This is so much more than just one successful experiment. It's a powerful proof of concept for a whole field called bacterial therapy. Instead of just using chemicals or radiation, we could be deploying living, targeted medicines, nature's own microscopic assassins, to fight our toughest diseases.
So the researchers are now focused on the next big steps. They want to see if this works on other solid tumors, like breast and pancreatic cancer, figure out the best ways to deliver it, and explore how it could be combined with treatments we already have for an even more powerful effect.
I think the main takeaway here is summed up perfectly by the researchers themselves. This discovery really opens a new door, and it reminds us that these powerful medical solutions are often hidden in the vast, unexplored biodiversity of the natural world all around us.
And that just leaves us with this really inspiring final thought. If the gut of a common little tree frog can hold the potential cure for cancer, what other incredible secrets are out there, just waiting for us to find them?